Welcome back to Cruisnick's Sanctuary, Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker, and the Melee Roll DPS questline. Cruisnick X here, along with Arya Stormborn.
Are you done fixing the Sagan yet? Ow! Fuck you!
You deserve that poke.
No! That was my arm. I have scar tissue there.
Sorry. Anyway, speaking of the Sahagin,
That's what I said, Sagan.
I will frickin' punch you over a fence! Anyways, we met with the leader of the Crushing Tide, Dao, who proceeded to take perverse glee in frickin' in the fact that a couple of his mates turned into blasphemies right in front of his eyes. He thought they were a blessing from Leviathan, which they totally were not. But we don't know what to expect. We still don't know the main blasphemy and what's going on here, so let's get right down to it. Oh, this episode we're going to be doing as Ninja, and we're going to be doing the level 87 quest, Old Heroes Never Die. The Admiral left a message for you, and the news is not good. It appears that a Laminson merchant ship was assailed by a Sahagin raiding party affiliated with the Crushing Tide. To further complicate matters, the vessel in question was carrying a shipment of crystals supplied to us by the kobolds of Ogamoro. The Admiral suspects that Dao means to use the plundered crystals to summon Leviathan. She has gone to meet with Null, that we and our Sahagin allies might take swift action. She bids you join her immediately. Should the worst come to the worst, your experience in combating primals may prove essential. Pray, make for South Tidegate and rendezvous with Admiral Bluefiston at once. Back to Aleport. Alright, might as well use the Sunspun Cumulus for this, too. Alright. Alright. So, what's the 411? Thank you for coming, Chris. The situation is grim. The Crushing Tide plundered one of our trading ships and seized a goodly stash of Ogamoro crystals. Though their aim is clear, it appears they yet lack the quantity needed to perform the summoning. Dao longs for the days when every Sahagin cried out for Lord Leviathan's deliverance, and will stop at nothing to see them return. I cannot fathom what the Crushing Tide are thinking. What satisfaction, what happiness can be found in giving over their hearts and minds to a false god? And so we must thwart their designs, lest the bonds we have forged be forever broken. By the same token, we cannot ignore the blasphemy, nor the transformations its presence may bring about. A battle on two fronts, neither of which we can commit to at the expense of the other. As we sail into the eye of the storm, I would hear your counsel. What course of action would you propose? Might we turn to the three great pirate powers for aid? As it happens, I've already enlisted the executioners, the krakens, and the sirens to the cause. They've done much to bolster the Maelstrom's efforts to scour the seas for the blasphemy. So if we're to seek reinforcements, we will have to turn elsewhere. But to whom? The Yellow Jackets?
The wasps?
The Yellow Jackets are spread thin, keeping the coast safe from the crushing tide in their raids. We cannot afford to dilute their ranks any further. No, we must look to another party for assistance, I'm afraid. Any other ideas? Sounds like a job for the Company of Heroes. The Company of Heroes. Now that's a name I've not heard in some time. 'Tis true that they answered the call many a time. Indeed, other than you and yours, there are arguably none better suited to the task of primal slaying. But they disbanded over 5 years ago, and neither hide nor hair has been seen of their commander since. Aye, absent their leader, I suspect they will be reluctant to join our cause. And yet, I can think of no better option. I'll contact Weisgate, the erstwhile commander's right-hand man, and see if he will not hear us out. I will ask him to meet us at the Drowning Wench. Let us hope he is receptive to our offer. Null, might I trust you and your brothers to continue the search for the blasphemy in the meantime?
But of course, Admiral. Should we discover anything, you will be the first to know.
Alright, back to the Drowning Wench. Oh, by the way, babe, were you able to finish your Wondrous Tales or nah? Oh, that's lame. Get out of this rain, get out of this rain. Oh, why do we have to wait outside? Can we wait at a table or something?
Lame.
I haven't voiced the Company of Heroes in a while. Alright. My apologies for the delay. You are alone?
And here I swore 5 years ago that I was done playing hero.
Ha! Waistcoat! London now. Oh my god, they got everyone!
Could someone explain what this is all about? Believe it or not, I am a respectable man with respectable obligations these days. Take that polearm out. Take that polearm out of your arse, old friend, and stop pretending you're not still a murderous bastard at heart. What's that wicked tongue of yours have ooed? Lest I skewer it and prove you right.
Nothing like a reunion with dear companions over a bottle of the wench's finest vintage. That is why we're here, right?
Long time no I catch uplanders. Brayflox's tummy tickled to see Gubby friends again.
Thank you for assembling on such short notice.
Spare us the pleasantries, Admiral. Why are we here?
I make a simple request. Reform the company of heroes, and lend Limsa Laminsa your strength.
You have a reason, I'm sure. I would hear it.
Oh, come on. There's a too long didn't read version, and we can freaking explain it. So there you have it. A terrible fiend known as a blasphemy prowls all seas, transforming the Sahagin into ravening beasts. At the same time, the Sahagin themselves, specifically a hostile faction calling themselves the Crushing Tide, had declared their intention to summon Leviathan anew. Should they succeed, we would be hard-pressed to deal with the Primal while still dealing with the other threats.
A right pickle indeed. But the answer is no. The commander disbanded the company, and as his first mate, it's not my place to gainsay his final order.
Sod that, I say! Have you ever gotten our company's creed? The duty of the strong is to protect the weak. Are the people now in danger not the same men and women we fought to defend years ago? The commander would not have turned his back on them, and neither should we.
Bold words, Londonelle. But do you truly believe that we can honor them as we are? Old mercenaries past their prime, lacking the commander whose wisdom and prowess saw them to glory once upon a time.
Ah, yes, your commander. What if Chris here were to lead you in his stead? Surely you would not question his abilities. Wait, what? An intriguing proposition. I, for one, would not be averse to serving under such a decorated hero.
Gabby friend has goodly head for fighty thing, and goodly arms for thinky fight.
As ringing an endorsement as any, but I would hear it from the man himself. Do you believe you are capable of leading the company of heroes into battle?
Better if you've the stones to follow me.
Now that's the confidence I'd expect from my commander. Very well then. Consider us yours to lead. 5 years to the day, truth be told. I was enjoying the more 5 years to the day. Truth be told, I was enjoying the more leisurely life, but when duty calls...
Wait. Before we proceed, I must ask. Have we no way of reaching out to the commander?
Forgotten how he took his leave, have we? Up and vanishing so we could each find our own way, apart from him and the company. I doubt we'll see him again, much as I wish we would.
To the matter at hand, the missions you will undertake. First, you are to aid us tracking down the blasphemy that roams the sea. Second, you must prevent the Crushing Tide from summoning Leviathan at all costs.
Oh, is that all?
And now I thought we might get our feet wet with the real challenge. But in all seriousness, we should take care to decide who attends to what.
Sounds like a job for our acting commander. I'm sure he'll give it all due consideration.
Alright. Alright, let's talk to White.
So, if I understand this correctly, we're to bring down this so-called blasphemy. Of course, to do that, we'll need to find the damn thing first. We've also got to prevent the Crushing Tide from summoning their god, Leviathan, a tall order in and of itself. As acting a commander, it's your job to decide who will be doing what, based on the skills we each have to offer. I'd recommend you start by having a chat with each of us, that you might develop a sense of the strengths and weaknesses, mostly strengths of course, of the storied veterans under your command.
Sounds good to me. Here we go. First is Londonel.
My specialty, you ask? Why, impaling fiends with this lance of mine, of course. The stronger the foe, the better. None are a match for me. It would be folly to waste my talents on dealing with those slippery fishmen. Set me against that slow-called blasphemy, and I'll have the thing on a skewer before you can say Melvib Bloofisvin.
Pursuing and slaying the blasphemy, then.
A wise choice. Send Landonel after the Sahagin, and it's like to help them summon Leviathan to sate his bloodlust.
Wold.
I will speak plain. I am not some battle-crazed barbarian like Landonel. As known of the Yun, a tribe of peerless hunters, I conduct my affairs with discipline and prudence. As such, I know better than any that to rush headlong into battle is rarely the best course of action. Far wiser it is to observe from afar and proceed with caution.
I will send him to prevent the primal summoning.
Very astute, if I do say so myself. There are few better suited to the task of averting needless bloodshed than the famously circumspect of Uod Nu.
As you well know, my vision is somewhat lacking these days. I can still defend myself when necessary, but I'd rather it not come to that. My condition also leaves me rather unsuited to scouting and searching. It wasn't always the case, but such is life. On the other hand, I'd like to think I've gotten quite good at sounding out the intentions of others during negotiations and the like. Let's say preventing the primal summoning.
You've a keen sense for these things, I see. More so than reconnaissance or battle, Shamani has a knack for working behind the scenes to see the company's goals achieved.
Brayflock's master maker of Illuminati treasures offers much hand-lending with ingenuity. Far-seeing spyglass sees far into ocean deep. Crackfires go boom and blast beasts into bitty pizzas.
Probably preventing the primal summoning.
The choice is yours to make, of course, but I cannot help but wonder if Brayflock's talents might be better applied to a less delicate task. It would seem everyone has their assignments. I can't say I agree with all of your choices, but given that you've only just assumed command, I reckon you've done well enough.
And with that, it is time we got to work. I have procured link pals for one and all, that we can keep each other apprised of our progress. You may pick them up from Maelstrom Command.
We'd best be off then. Should we have need to regroup or reconsider our strategy, call for us.
I might want to rethink that, then. I will return to command, and share these developments here with the secretariat and our Sahagin friends. Do join me if you can, Commander Chris. Alright, back to Maelstrom Command. I mean, I don't mind the sound of Commander. When will we get that anyway? God damn. Anyway.
You've already got the Lord Commander title.
I changed that years ago, like a year ago. Anyway.
Ah, Chris. The Admiral has apprised me of the situation in full.
Furnish Chris with a link pal, yes?
Of course, Admiral.
It would seem the company is trying to reach us. Ho there, Commander. Just give the word and I'll come running.
Lower your goddamn voice, will you? Watch your tongue or I'll track you down and rip yours out!
They sound more like mortal enemies than old companions. That's where Chris comes in. I'm trusting you to whip them back into shape. Make them a force to be reckoned with. I will have the secretariat contact you if there are any developments. I will convey them to the entire company by link pal, but we cannot afford anyone taking reckless action. In the meantime, I will reach out to Null and see what he has gleaned about the crushing tide in their hideout. Let us hope for good tidings, Commander. I have a feeling that I fucked up. Alright, the next quest will be the level 88 quest, A Mother's Suffering, and we will be doing that with, what are we doing that with? Oh, we're doing it with Samurai this time around.
I was gonna say ninja, but okay.
We're already ninja.
Oh.
Anywho, that's it for this episode. If you're watching on Twitch, stay tuned. If you're watching on YouTube, here are all the links provided to get you where you need to go. We will see you in the next episode. Sayonara for now.